Greetings and salutations everyone, and I hope you're all fine and dandy out there in collecting land. And welcome back to the channel for another 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. Today we're going to be taking a close-up look at the last in our trio of Soosoo Toys Watchman figures. There'll be a link at the end of the video to the Rorschach and the Ozymandias figure, which we've already reviewed. But today it's the turn of Punchline, aka the comedian, aka Jeffrey Dean Morgan, as he appears in the 2009 Zack Synder directed movie adapted from the Dave Gibbons and Alan Moore penned graphic novel Watchmen. The format remains unchanged. It'll be a quick look at the box, then it'll be down onto the table for a look at all the accessories. Then it will be out with everyone's favourite unhinged Minuteman, onto the stand, onto the turntable for an up-close look, and finally we'll be reintroducing him to Rorschach and Ozymandias for the usual showcase at the end. But before we get into it, first of all, a shout out to everyone who's liked, commented, shared, and most importantly subscribed to the channel. Your support has been truly inspiring, and it's thanks to you that what started as an experiment is grown into what it is today. So thank you one and all. And to those of you who are watching the content but not subscribing, and I know there's a lot of you, please turn that view into a subscribe. You'll be helping us here at Go Figure to continue doing what we're doing. And you'll be making James a very happy old man in his dotage. But that's enough of my ramblings. On to the box. So what are we looking at? It's the usual Soosoo Toys box. Pretty familiar to everybody who's maybe picked up figures in this line or Soosoo Toys before. Shoebox design. Let's stop it from spinning and have a close-up look. Relatively straightforward. What you've got on the front here is what I believe is actually a stylized picture of Jeffrey Dean Morgan himself. I don't believe this is the figure. But the background there, you've got this sort of city street, this rainy city street. Across the top, it says the Punchline. Soosoo Toys in the top right-hand corner. 1/6 scale collectible figure across the middle there. Bring it round to the sides. Not much to see on the sides here other than a continuation of that street scene. Same story on the right-hand side, I believe. Yes, it is. Anything on the bottom? No, just a continuation of that shot, and the same on the top as well. Round the back, we have got the same street scene again. Just this time it's minus the comedian himself. So yeah, that's the picture on the back. You've got your usual warnings and credits here on the back. Don't piss this figure off, or the American dream might just come true. Also says Soosoo Toys at the bottom, Punchline at the top. This is, as I say, a shoebox design. We will attempt to get this open on camera. I'll say from the get-go, this is not a new figure to me. It's been in the collection a while. But what you've got on the inside of the box here is this slip cover. Very nicely done. It's pretty much the same for all of the Watchmen Soosoo Toys line. They have these nice slip covers. Underneath it, you've got the clamshells with the figure itself in it. But on the front here, you've got another stylized picture of the comedian, aka Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Soosoo Toys again in the top right-hand corner. So that's the box. Relatively straightforward, but nicely done, quite bold and quite impressive. So without further ado, let's dive down onto the table and have a look at all the accessories that come with the comedian. Okay, so here we are, down on the table with all the accessories that come with your comedian figure. And there's quite a lot to go at here. Comparatively speaking to the Rorschach figure and the Ozymandias figure, there's a hell of a lot more, but this is a much busier character altogether. So yeah, there's a lot to go at, so we'll crack on. We'll start with the hands, as we always do. You know me and my hands, standing joke. There are, and I believe there are 4 pairs of hands. Yeah, there are 4 pairs of hands. There's an open palm set already on the figure itself, which we'll see when we bring it out. Then you've got these 3 other pairs. We'll grab 1 or 2 at random, just to have a look at them. There are weapon-holding hands, you've got fisted hands, and then more weapon-holding hands, but with a more gripping effect as well. Let's grab one of these at random and have a look at the actual sculpt itself and the paint applications. So yeah, pretty good straight off the bat. What you've got here is a fingerless glove on top of the sculpted hand. It's all obviously one piece of sculpted plastic. You've got black paint applications there to simulate the leather. There's some nice creasing in there. You've got these metallic sections across the forefingers. These metallic sections on the back, which have been painted in this nice silver. There's a black paint application there to replicate leather. What is really impressive about these, and I'll try and get this as close as I can into camera so you can see this, is the silver dry brushing on here to give it that depth. It's really, really nicely done on these hands. And it's the same for all of them. They've got this silver dry brushing, which really adds an extra dimension of depth to the hands. So yeah, let's do the flexibility test. Yeah, we've got a medium to hard here, so there is some give there. So we do like to see some play in the hands, especially when we're manipulating accessories. Not much by the way of fingernails. There is an attempt there, but overall pretty good. And for third-party hands, I think they've done a fantastic job here, particularly with the paint applications. So yeah, you get that gun gripping hand. That's a right gun gripping hand. There's a left one as well. Same level of paint application, same level of sculpt. And as we mentioned before, 2 sets of fisted hands as well. So put the hands to one side because we're off to a good start with those, I think. What should we take a look at next? Let's have a look at. Let's take a look at this. It comes with a flask. Now, as people who have seen the film will know, Mr. Blake wasn't averse to taking a jolt every now and again, and it comes with this flask. All one piece of sculpted plastic, relatively straightforward. You've got this black section here across the centre, and then the ends are painted with this silver wash to give it that metallic look. Yeah, and it is what it is. It's a 6-scale hip flask. So yeah, I will put that to one side. What else do you get? We'll actually get this out of the way as well. This is a really nice touch that Soosoo Toys have actually put in here. And this is a little 6-scale photograph. Now, those who've seen the film will know that this is actually on the wall in one of the scenes of the film, along with many other photographs as well. And it's a picture of the Minutemen from the 40s, I believe, the original Minutemen and women. Yeah, it's just a really, really nice touch. It's just a plastic frame. With what looks like a sticker inside, with all the characters there. And yeah, it's just a really, really nice touch. And it's something that I do use in the display, as I mentioned before. This isn't a brand new figure to me. I've had it in the collection a while, but I think this just really, really gives... it's nice in the display. It gives it that extra touch of realism. So yeah, nice touch there from Soosoo Toys. Let's take a look at some of these weapons. Let's start with his shotgun. Now... straight off the bat here, it's a bit of contrast going on here. The stock itself is really, really nicely painted. Obviously, it's all one piece of sculpted plastic. The stock has got some really nice paint applications on there to replicate the wood grain effect, but the actual barrel itself and the slider here doesn't look like there's been an awful lot of paint applications. A pity, really, because they've done the silver dry brushing on the hands. I think this would have benefited this barrel and these black sections of the shotgun itself, but you know, it is what it is. It's still nicely sculpted, still unmistakably a shotgun, and as I mentioned, it's got this cocking action, which is nice to see. If you're wanting to pose it, cocking the weapon itself, yeah. So yeah, not bad at all. A nice replica of the 12th scale, the 6th scale shotgun, and pretty screen accurate as well, bar perhaps the paintwork being a little bit lacking. Pretty much the same story here on the grenade launcher as well. You've got that really nice. I think it might be a print actually. I don't think it's paint applications. You've got this print on the stock to give it that wood grain effect. I believe, and I have never tried doing this. I believe this actually comes apart, and you can. Yep, there you go. Yeah, so you've got that full working effect there. So you could have him loading it if that's a pose you want to go for in your display. He does come with plenty of grenades, which we'll take a look at. So yeah, nice touch there from Soosoo Toys with that cocking action. You've also got a sight there, which raises up. Once again, a bit lacking on that barrel area. Could have benefited from some silver dry brushing, but on the whole, very screen accurate and pretty nicely done. And it comes with this strap. Now, I believe this strap is pleather. I'm going to put my neck on the chopping block here and say that this is pleather. It feels like pleather to me. It doesn't look like leather. So the longevity of the pleather proportions, as all us collectors will know, is questionable. But so far so good. It's holding up. So yeah, that's the grenade launcher. Let's take a look at his pistols, his infamous pistols. These are both identical, so we'll just take a look at one of them. Not sure what type of handgun this is. I am no firearms expert, so I won't even attempt to hazard a guess. But yeah, very nicely done. Screen accurate once again. There's some unique detailing on it, like these ribs at the bottom here, and the drilled out trigger for lightness. But what really is outstanding on this is the paint applications. There's lovely silver paint applications on here, and there is some dry brushing on here to pick out the shading and so on. But the handle itself is really, really nice. And I'll try and get this in shot. And I don't know whether the camera's going to pick this up, but you've got the smiley face, and it says Richard Nixon 1970, I believe there. I could be wrong. My eyes might be deceiving me. Yeah, I think it says 1970. But yeah, so you've got Richard Nixon on the handle there, and that's replicated on both sides. Removable magazines, I believe. Yep. And painted bullet there in the top. So that's nice to see. I think viewers to my channel will know I'm not a massive fan of removable magazines, but it's there if you want it. And there's also a cocking action as well on here, which is nice to see. So fully working cocking action on there, which now doesn't want to go back. Now I've got it. Oh no, it's gone back now. I was going to say we'll foots that off camera, but no need. So yeah, very nicely done, very screen accurate, well painted, nice level of detail, and two of. You also get, as well as those two guns, you get two spare magazines. Now, these are pretty much identical to the ones in the gun. In fact, they are identical. But these are designed as spare magazines to go in the two magazine holding holsters that he's got on his belt, which we'll see when we bring the figure out. But once again, same level of paint application as the ones in the guns themselves. So, what else? You get a set of dog tags. This is a simple metal chain with a plastic dog tag on it, and if I will try and get this into shot here, but you can actually read this, which is the level of detailing here is really, really nice from Soosoo Toys. It is. I don't know if I'll try and get that in camera, but if you can't see it, trust me, there is some identifiable writing on there, what looks like Kate Blake, which I'm assuming is next of kin. So yeah, set of dog tags. Let's take a look at this bandolier. Now, I am assuming once again that we're looking at pleather here. It's a brown pleather material. The stitching's very, very nice. All of the grenades in here are removable. If you wanted to take them out, as I said, if you wanted posing with the grenade launcher, holding one or putting one into the barrel of the grenade launcher, you can do that. We take one out just so you can have a look. Relatively simple. They're just plastic. They're all removable, and they've got this black, yellow, and green paint application, which once again I believe is screen accurate. And you simply slot them through the loops. He said with confidence, trying to do this on camera. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, you can put as many in as you want, take them out, pose him holding them, whatever you want to do. And this goes over his shoulder. It's got plastic. Now, are these plastic or metal? Now, I suspect these are plastic, but I could be wrong. They're cold to the touch. I'm going to go with plastic. But yeah, there's two buckles on either side as well. So that's the bandolier. Okay, what else? Well, not finally, but almost finally. Let's take a look at the stand. Now, people who are familiar with Soosoo Toys Watchman line will recognize this stand immediately. It's this hexagonal shape, all one piece of plastic. Let's take a look at the bottom. Nothing on the bottom here. There are no pads on the bottom here, so once again, exercise caution. If you're putting this on a smooth surface, it may move around. But the top level here of the stand is really, really nice. I do like these stands. Very simple, very, very effective. What you've got is this sort of bluey green plastic with dry brushing, either dry brushing or shading here to give it that metallic look. It's got that sort of corrugated steel look. Then you've got across the top here, you've got this black plastic cross, and in the middle, you've got the smiley face with the blood spatter across it. Very simple. very effective, and I do like these bases. So yeah, there you have it. That's the stand. Comes with a standard issue crotch grabber, which slots in there. We'll put that to one side, and finally we'll take a look at the two head sculpts. And it's good to see two head sculpts that come with this figure. Now, before we get into the head sculpts themselves, you also get this black plastic mask. Now that is, I believe, is to be used with this with the unmasked head sculpt. How you would attach it, I'm not 100% certain. Whether you'd have him holding it, I don't know. But we'll look at this this unmasked head sculpt first. Now, I'll say straight off the bat, this is my least favourite of the two. The sculpt itself is okay. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. It's pretty good. The paint applications are very good. And Soosoo Toys do have the tendency with their quality of paint applications, their accessories and so on, to put me in mind of Mars Toys. But yeah, as I say, this is the least favourite of my two of the two head sculpts. Let's start with the hair. The hair's pretty good. It's pretty well sculpted. It's not the best I've ever seen, but it's effective. The style is correct. It looks like the style it has. You've got that grey Malin streak, those grey Malin streaks forming at the temples there, which are accurate. The style is right. Just something slightly off about the face itself, and I'm not sure what it is. I don't know whether it's the eyes or the aging. I think it's the eyes, as you'll see when we bring out the second one. But the paint applications are really good. The 5 o'clock shadow there is really nice. There are multiple paint applications on the face to give it that skin texture. There's creasing around the eyes. The eyes are nice and glassy. There's furrowing in the forehead. We've even got the scar down here on the right-hand side of the face, which is once again screen accurate. The moustache is done well. Those teeth are done really, really well too. It looks like, as far as I can see, they're not actually sculpted within the mouth. It looks like they've actually been, I would suspect, put in behind this foam pad, which is there to protect the rest of the body. But they look like they've been put in from the back rather than sculpted in. But they've got a lovely shine to them. Nice paint applications on there. I think it's probably, though, it's the teeth and the eyes on this that just make it look a tad goofy to me. It's a tad off. But yeah, what we'll do now is we'll look at the other head sculpt, and maybe you'll get what I mean here. Pop a comment in the comment section below. Is it me? But does it look better when he is masked? I personally think it does. So yeah, this is a completely different head sculpt here. They haven't just simply stuck a mask on this one. What you've got here, the same sculpted hair, very, very nicely done. Once again, the grey streaks in there. The mask is stuck to the sculpt itself. Underneath the mask, you've got that blackening around the eyes, which is good to see. We'll bring the other one back in. I know we're jumping from head sculpt to head sculpt here, but forgive me. But if you actually put the mask on this one, it doesn't really help it that much, I find, because that black eye makeup isn't there. It makes it look more goofy. But yeah, that's just my opinion. So back to this one. Really nicely done. You've got that 5 o'clock shadow as before. The hair's well painted. The skin the paint applications on the skin are really, really good. What sets this one apart, other than just the mask, is the cigar, and I really do like this. Now, this is what really gives this head sculpt character to me, is the mask and the cigar, and really, really elevates it above this one. So this is the one I tend to prefer using in the display. I tend to avoid using this head. So yeah, what we've got here, in my opinion, is one absolutely excellent head sculpt, one outstanding head sculpt, and one not so good head sculpt. But, you know, it is what it is. And those are the two head sculpts. So that's all the accessories that come with the figure. So what we'll do next is we'll bring out the Watchman himself. We'll get him onto the stand, get him onto the turntable, and have a close-up look at the masked vigilante. Okay, so here he is. It's the comedian himself, onto the stand, onto the turntable. And first impressions. Well, I can't really give first impressions. Obviously, this is it's not a new figure to me. Had it in the collection a while. But what I can do is give third, fourth, 104th impressions of this figure, depending on how many times I've seen it. And yeah, straight off the bat, proportions look absolutely nailed on. The outfit looks very, very good. You know my views on the second of the two head sculpts, not my personal favourite, but yeah, the outfit looks completely screen accurate, and as I say, proportions all look good. So yeah, a really, really positive overall impression of this figure. We're going to do this in two halves, actually. We're going to take a look at the detailing on the figure itself without any of the weapons, any of the accessories attached. As you probably noticed, we've gone unmasked head sculpt and untooled up look. So we can have a look around the figure without anything getting in the way. And then we'll cut to him fully tooled up with the masked head sculpt on, so we can get an idea of what that looks like as well before we go over to the showcase. So yeah, let's stop him from spinning, get him off this stand and have an up-close look at the guy. So yes, we'll start at the bottom as we always do and work our way up. What are we looking at here? So straight away, yeah, these boots are really, really nicely detailed and they look screen accurate to me. There's no tread on the bottom here, so it's relatively plain on the bottom here, and no split cut boot design. But what we are looking at here is quite a high level of screen accuracy, as I remember his boots, and the paint applications on here are really nice. You've got silver dry brushing on the front here to weather it. Moving up, you go up to these what are all plastic, sculpted plastic shin guards. We'll flip this over so you can see the back side of these. Get them under the light. The detailing here on these shin guards is really, really nice. The sculpt is very, very well done. You've got sculpted in stitch work there, sculpted in buckles, and there's numerous ones. Nothing about this figure is particularly asymmetrical, which you'll notice as we move around it, but that is screen accurate. You've got this sculpted in plastic knife holder on the right hand boot here. I do believe this knife is removable, although I've never attempted to do that. It's clipped in here. I believe that's the only part on these boot sections that is actually pleather. The rest of this is all sculpted plastic. But yeah, really, really nicely done. Really, really the paint applications are what strikes me here. It's that silver brushing that really, really sort of makes this whole figure pop. But yeah, you've got these sculpted in silver sections here with some nice paintwork on. Moving up, what we've got underneath here are pleather pants. I believe this is pleather, and you've got all kinds of different detailing going on. You've got sort of rib sections towards the waist there, rib sections around the knees here. Over the top of these knees, you've got these silver plastic straps, these knee pads, which are free floating. They're just simply attached by black elastic around the sides there. So these can move around. You can move these around when you're posing it. The legs themselves are quite well articulated. I believe there's a double knee joint there. Although I would suggest caution. Obviously, we're looking at a lot of pleather on this particular figure. So, yeah, I wouldn't want to put these rib sections at the knees under any duress. So maybe not leaving it in any dynamic pose for any length of time, just to safeguard that pleather. But yeah, so yeah, pleather all the way around on this suit, pretty much up to the waist itself. You've got this sculpted plastic gun holster here, one on the other side as well. Once again, this has got that silver dry brushing on it, which is really nice to see, which picks out the details and really makes it pop. Pleather's continued upwards. We'll just move his arms out a little bit so you can see the detailing here. This belt is all plastic. Nice paint applications on there. Once again, that silver dry brushing is there. Yeah, it's all one piece of sculpted plastic, and you've got the two, and I'll bring him round again. You've got the two spare ammo pouches on either side here, and on the back, the shotgun shells. Now, these aren't removable, as far as I'm aware. These are all sculpted in, but they're nicely painted. They've got that sort of brass stroke gold effect at the top, and the red section at the bottom there. And just looks very nice, very, very detailed and very well done. Moving up, now I believe this is plastic. This is all solid plastic here, and it's sculpted on this vest section. There's some nice ribbing in here, the paint once again, and this is where that silver dry brushing just about gets everywhere. It's also in this section here. You've got what I believe is a pleather holster. Now, this is for the shotgun section. This is free floating here and attached by these two clips at the top. There is an awful lot going on with this figure. There really is. We'll bring it back round. Once again, all sculpted plastic with these brace sections here, these harness sections around the chest area, some silver detailing on these what look like buckles, moving up to the shoulders. Now, the body itself here, I believe, is jointed. It's not a seamless body, and I think that was actually probably the best option to go with for this figure, simply because of it really isn't necessary to have a seamless body, because the joints of the arms themselves are covered by these two shoulder pads, and they're also covered by the arms of the vest itself, the straps of the vest section and this harness section. So really, there isn't really a requirement here for a seamless body. The arms themselves, where the joints are covered up, this is probably one disadvantage, is that they're covered with this pleather section. Now, as you can see, when you bend the arm and the arm is ratcheted, you're going to be putting these pleather sections under duress as well. The same as the situation with the knee. So I would say, in between, if you're going to photograph this figure or display it in a dynamic pose, don't keep it there too long. Yeah. Put it back into a vanilla museum pose once you're finished. But yeah, once again, the level of detailing is nice. Silver dry brushing on there. The paint applications to make these pads look metallic is very good. Coming down to the wrist area, you've got these sculpted on plastic sections here to make it look like one continuous glove. Once again, silver dry brushing on there. Hands are pegged on, so it's a simple case of just popping them on and swapping them out. Up on the top here, you've got the button badge, the Minuteman button badge there, the yellow smiley face, the shoulder pads. Now, these are attached by elastic again. These are pretty much free floating, although there is a strap across the top here. I don't know whether I'll just see if the camera can pick this up. There's a what feels like a hard plastic strap that goes across the top of the shoulders there, which allows, if you can, I don't know whether the camera will actually pick that up, but there is a little bit of a gap in there where it's attached, and it allows these asymmetrical shoulder pads to move around. But the pads themselves, these shoulder protectors, are really nicely done. Once again, 100% screen accurate. And you've got the star on one side and what is obviously meant to replicate the stripes on the other. The paint application, they're all plastic, but the paint applications there to make them look metallic are really nice. There's some shading on there. There's detailing to pick out the rivets on this side here. And there's some scuffs and some weathering on here as well, and just very, very well done. Really, really well done. Overall, I think Soosoo Toys have really hit a home run with the detailing on this figure. They've got the screen accuracy on point. Bar some of the pleather, I think the materials they've used are pretty good. My feelings on this head sculpt. It's a pegged head sculpt. You've got the usual amount of motion in there. This one's quite stiff because I very, very rarely use it. But yeah, I would say exercise some caution on this hair at the back. You might find that it scratches the back of the neck area there. But the paint applications on the exposed section of the body, once again, really, really nice. Good flesh tones. There's some vein work picked out in there. The texturing on the neck there, and some of the lines and the creases, really, really nice. So yeah, there you have it. That, we'll put him back on the stand. That is the Comedian, given to us by Soosoo Toys. So what we'll do next, as mentioned before, is we will cut to the fully tooled version of him. Okay, so here he is. It's the Comedian fully tooled up and ready for some serious vigilanteing, if that's a word that I've not just made up. This is my preferred look. This is obviously how he's going into my display. But yeah, let's have a look at some of those details. What we've done here is we've put the guns in the holsters. We have put the bandolier on. We have put the grenade launcher on. We've holstered the shotgun, and we've gone with the alternate head sculpt as well. And this to me is most certainly the Comedian all over. Fantastic, really, really impressive as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, on to final thoughts. Well, as I said, yeah, very, very impressed. Very, very impressed indeed. I think the level of detailing here that Soosoo have got, with this being a third-party figure, is absolutely phenomenal. I think the paint applications on the whole are wonderful, bar maybe some detailing on some of the weapons. I think as I say, the outfit is screen accurate, the proportions are right, the colours are right, the paint applications are very good on the whole. The accessories are top notch. They really, really are, bar those minor issues that we discussed. The only thing I think that lets this down is the other head sculpt, is the unmasked head sculpt. I think that's the only thing that stops me giving this a 10, to be honest with you. I'm going to go with a 9 for the overall score, simply because I think that second head sculpt lets it down. It's a shame. Had they not included it, then I wouldn't have scored it. And it may have come very close to coming out with a 10, maybe a 9.5. But as it stands, it gets a 9 from me. I think if you are a fan of Watchmen, if you're just a fan of 6-scale figures, I think Soosoo Toys have done a fantastic job here. And this kind of work puts me in mind of the level of detailing and accuracy that Mars Toys produces these days. And it's great to see third-party companies producing figures like this of not necessarily the most mainstream of licenses, but producing them to such a high standard. So yeah, there you have it. That is the comedian from the Watchmen, courtesy of Soosoo Toys. What are your thoughts on this? Have you got it in the collection? What's your take on this? I'd be fascinated to hear. I'd be really interested to find out. If you have it, what do you think of it? If you don't have it, what do you think of it? Please pop a comment in the comment section below. I'd be really, really interested to hear your take on this. So, before we zip over to the showcase and before the final wrap up, let's just cover what's coming up on the channel. In the 1/6 scale world, we have got Premier Toys Interstellar figures. They're due in pretty soon, I believe. We have got All Toys, Duke Leto and Gurney Halleck from June. They're on their way pretty shortly. Obviously, we are all holding our breath for the in-art Batman. Fingers crossed that's going to be coming soon. Caustic Plastics Horror of Dracula, I keep mentioning that, but hopefully that's going to land soon as well. The double pack of the deluxe pack of Liam Cushing. On the present toys front, we've got Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men. We've got Ripley from Aliens, and we've got Kaneda from Akira coming in as well. Quarter scale. We're going to be taking a look at the Christopher Lee statue from the 1958 Dracula to go with the pairs up with the Van Helsing statue that we reviewed recently on the channel as well. We've also got the quarter scale statue, Prime One and Blitzway Studios, Paul Atreides from June, the still suit version. In the 1/12 scale world, we've got a lot of NECA stuff. We're going to be looking at a lot of American Werewolf in London stuff to coincide with NECA's release of the Jack and David figures. We're also going to be taking a look at a lot of NECA Predator stuff, Alien stuff, a raft of NECA figures as well. And we've also got a lot of retro reviews coming up on the channel as well. So as you can probably tell, there is an awful lot on the horizon. So as I mentioned at the top there, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn that view into a subscribe and support us here at Go Figure so we can keep doing what we're doing. And I suppose all it remains for me to say is a massive thank you for watching. I hope this review's been useful. Take care of yourselves. Happy collecting, and it's over to the